Welcome to Fieldsports Britain, coming to you this week from a little old gun trade show way out in the Wild West. Coming up, we're chasing rats across the swampland of Louisiana. We're after a cousin of the roe deer, America's favourite deer, the whitetail. But first, it's the biggest hunting and outdoor show in the world, the ShotShow in Las Vegas. Well, you're going to see a lot about the ShotShow on our show over the next couple of weeks, and I'm going to run out of ways of saying the words big and new and oh my god. First, let's find out what's hot for American hunters. The new product centre looks like a rich hunting ground. Let's have a look. Well, this I like. I mean, effectively, it's a rubber strap-on. It goes on the front of your gun, in this case a rather aggressive machine gun, dagger, 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 dagger. But I mean, you could pretty well make one yourself. And it's got laser sight, torch, and look, press this button here and, oh, got a bipod as well. Now, next to it, a slightly more hilarious idea. I guess she's the good guy, because she's got a camera. This guy's got a gun, I guess he's the bad guy. And what you do is you have to shoot him, not her, and to make it more difficult, there are the tank tracks, so you can run it across your garden. Here we are, a gun rest you can fix anywhere. That is a good idea. Now, as a bit of a techie, I just love this. It's 25 pounds in weight of metal with a little bit of leather on rubber on the top, but it does everything you need if you want to zero your rifle. This one spins backwards and forwards, this one goes up and down there, it's got a joystick on it. Perfect. A couple of funnies to finish on. This duck decoy is great, but presumably only for very low-flying duck, not for ones that are coming in from above. My duck is slightly more three-dimensional than two-dimensional. And over here, the ghillie suit for the man who misses his beard. The ghillie with the goatee. Okay, one more. This is a small rodent-y sort of Punxsutawney Pete type thing. Hit it with a bullet and it does that. Can it be long? This smashes into the camera. Can it be long before comparethemarket.com starts selling these? Now it's over to David on the Fieldsports Channel News Fountain.
This is Fieldsports Britain News. Do you shoot right-handed but have a left dominant eye? An American company that specialises in sights for pistols has come up with an illuminated bead for the end of your shotgun. High-vis sights works like mini rifle scopes. The Magni-Optic shotgun sight shines light through a lens onto a bead. When the bead is bright, you're on target. When it's dull, you aren't. Visit highvissights.com. There are plenty of products for self-defence at the ShotShow. Swiss gun manufacturer Sig Sauer is keen to promote the fact that you can use its handguns even while underwater. At last, jewellery that's actually useful. Swiss Army knife company Wenger has launched a range of necklaces and pendants that feature not diamonds but kit, including knife sharpeners, screwdrivers, wire strippers and bottle openers. Visit www.wengerna.com. Back in the UK, and a Freedom of Information request by the Countryside Alliance has found that young people with shotguns pose no threat to public safety whatsoever. The Alliance believes these statistics prove conclusively that young people take the responsibility of handling shotguns seriously, and efforts to stop them entering the sport of shooting must be condemned. And finally, America's not just about the United States, and Fieldsports Britain News is not just about hunting and shooting. Danish angling TV show Kinetic Fishing has brought out a superb film about fishing for huge bluefin tuna off Nova Scotia. In the days when drift nets forced herring to the surface, British anglers caught fish off Scarborough up to a record 851 pounds. Well, all the fish you're watching here weigh in at more than 1,000 pounds. For more information, visit www.kineticfishing.com. You're now up to date with Fieldsports Britain news. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.
Thank you, David. That's a really good look. Now, one of the nice things about coming all the way out here is that you can stop off anywhere in the USA to go hunting. We choose Louisiana, which every bumper plate promises is a sportsman's paradise. First up, Ian Harford of Team Wild TV has an unusual appointment in a swamp.
Nothing gets the blood pumping like shooting rats in a barn. Well, today we're after giant rats from an airboat. One of the reasons I love hunting is the sheer variety of places, people and of course quarry you come across. I'm in the deep south close to New Orleans. It's not famous for its big five, but it does have a big rat problem. Known as coipu or nutria over here, this South American monster rodent is a nuisance, destroying habitat and undermining the banks of the Mississippi. Reaching pest proportions, a scenario wildlife managers all over the world know all too well. Arthur is going to be my guide through the swamp, or bayou. I've really been looking forward to this high-speed adventure, but when I get on the boat, I feel less Captain America and more Captain Caveman.
When he's running around, you just grab him anywhere.
Okay.
You grab him and hold him down, then I'll come in the front. I'll grab him by the tail, and you do the honors or whatever, knock him in the head, however you want to kill him. Might try a few shots just to see what that bullet does. This thing.
Any special technique this way?
Right behind the head, like a rabbit punch on a rabbit. Right behind the head, right on top of the head. The body ain't gonna do any good. You just gotta hit him in the head.
Well, this is the first time I've ever been out clubbing small rodents to death. It seems like my guide is pretty experienced. He knows what he's doing. He's going to give me some pointers on technique, and hopefully we're going to help rid him of some swamp rats. But yeah, this is a unique experience for me. Yeah.
We meander our way through the channels and its teeming bird life.
So apparently these blue heron can swallow alligators up to 2 feet long. Toss them in the air, swallow them straight down.
Then Arthur hits the gas and gets this 450 horsepower machine flying across the water. He tells us that he and his son take about 200 alligators out of this water each year. Another source of income for him is tourism. Even the nutria has its financial rewards. To claim a $5 bounty, he has to prove his kills to the authorities by presenting their tails. He's already been out this morning and picked off enough to pay for his fuel today.
So Arthur, tell me about the nutria, the rats here. How much of a problem is it?
It's a very big problem. It's the Gulf is getting ate up with that coastal erosion and everything, and the nutrients are eating their way out. They call it eat-outs. They eat the marsh and they stay in a certain area, and it's not no vegetation to hold the soil. So whenever the hurricane comes, it just washes the land away.
So how many do you take out a year?
We get thousands a year. We done shot so many, and a lot of the leases that we hunt in, the landowners comes back because it's closing up the duck bonds.
But I hear you get paid for them. There's a bounty on their heads.
It was a $4 bounty, now it's up to $5 a bounty. So it's a kick in the butt. I mean, you ride around, get drunk, shoot rats all day long, it's a kick in the butt.
Sounds like a perfect way of hunting, and it paid for your diesel for wildfowling this morning.
Pay you to hunt, that's my kind of hunting, yeah. Give you an idea how many they got out there. 100 of them the first year they put the bounty on them. In 15 days of hunting, me and my son and a couple other guys, we shot 6,800 of them.
I think we found one of Louisiana's true characters here. Clearly these guys know this area inside and out.
Right there, it's all what they call a roadhook. That's what a lot of duck hunters use to cover the duck blind.
And has a story to tell, which is awesome.
If you don't use airboat, it's almost impossible to get through that kind of stuff.
Do you get that? Looks like the only way to travel in and out of these hunting areas is via this airboat.
Oh well, I tried.
You'll be able to film him coming over the boat.
Arthur puts the airboat through its paces, and we finally arrive in Rodentsville, Louisiana. The nutria are easy to spot, but like ratting elsewhere, they don't stay put for long. Like Hemingway with his first elephant and Roosevelt with his first bear, I'm about to get my chance with my first nutria.
Right now. There you go, that's it.
Thankfully, it's a clean kill.
Done for that one. See the big choppers on it?
My goodness.
Teeth 2 or 3 inches long. Actually bigger than a beaver.
They're actually similar to porcupine teeth. Just
Similar,
slightly
yeah,
smaller,
yeah.
A lot of whiskers on there as well.
The fur is not a pretty fur like mink and everything, but they call it, when they make jackets and stuff like that, they call it a rough cut and a fine cut.
Yeah.
You take the rough hairs out, the big hairs out, the inside hairs are almost like mink. It's a real soft fur, but it's a lot to process it, so they don't give you much money for.
Yeah, there's not as much fur on there as I thought. It looks a lot thicker.
Yeah, it's
quite
certain down the ears a little thicker.
So, how do I feel about that? Pretty good. Saving the environment one nutria at a time.
Arthur spots another and he brings out a Ruger 1022.
Grazed them, but they kill it. God damn! How many shots you gonna take to get one right? Out of practice.
He peppers the bayou and finally gets his rat. This rifle is the most customizable rimfire in the world, and Arthur's is no exception.
A friend of mine did this. Got the bull barrel on it with synthetic stock and fiber optic sights. It's a high dollar 22. It's regular 22 like this, a Ruger would cost you about $2 to $250. This one here probably was close to $1,000. I had somebody build this for me. A hunter that comes with me all the time. He took one of my old 22s and he used the guts inside and he redone it for me.
But the Ruger 1022 is a fantastic self-loading 22.
Yeah, right now we're just using these 10 round clips, but they got 15, 25, 30, up to 150 round clips they got for these 22.
Arthur feels that my initiation is over, and I can now safely move from club to gun.
Quick. Shot him up the ass. You gotta shoot him where he's going, not where he's been.
Thank you for your helpful words there, Arthur.
Bullets, hang on, put it on safe. Put it on safe, get ready. Close. You cripple him. Get him in the head. Look in front of you, another one. Look in front.
Big rat shooting can be tricky. Matching the movement of the boat with the fleeing rodent is a test for any hunter.
This is some of the most exciting vermin shooting I've ever done. It's actually pretty similar to shooting rats in the barn. As soon as they spot you, as soon as they can see and smell you, they are heading for the hills. So we've got a couple in the boat already, and Arthur's going to take us find some more.
The nutria are easy prey for the predators of the bayou, including the bald eagle, which has just arrived back at this nest with one in its talons.
They feed on a lot of those rats. Especially when they're young, they'll come down on a nest of them and swoop them and they'll grab one in each claw. They ain't too particular about what to eat. They'll get in those tall trees and they'll watch for rabbits, rats, snakes. They eat almost anything.
Sometimes the tables are turned and the pesky nutria bites back.
The worst bite I ever had on a nutria was one of my dogs. Dog bit the whole nutria's head. He swallowed the whole nutria's head. The nutria bit the dog from the inside the throat, had his teeth in him. I jumped on the dog, hold him down, break the nutria's teeth, pry the dog's mouth open, and it took me 15, 20 minutes to get that nutria out of the dog's mouth, because every time the nutria would bite, the dog would bite, and it took me forever to get the nutria out of his throat. Left 2 big holes in his throat, but he lived through with no trouble.
It's an amazing afternoon's hunting, and this awesome boat makes it even more of a crazy experience.
This is a pretty impressive piece of kit. Tell me a bit about your boat.
Been running for over 20 years. They got all sizes and shapes. My son got a little mini one with a ultralight engine like they put in ultralights. This one is running a 496, putting out about 450 horsepower, and I got some that got up to 790 horsepower. It takes a lot of horsepower in that marsh, especially in the summer when the marsh is green. It's real sticky. This time of the year when it's in the winter months, a regular 350 will run across the marsh any way you want to go. But it's able to go anywhere and everywhere. It's not like a regular boat. It's more like driving a plane than a boat.
And it'll run on land as well as on the water
yeah,
and the marsh.
Anywhere and everywhere. It's similar to a hovercraft, I guess. The hovercraft goes over the top. We just got enough power to push across. There's a flat bottom with nothing underneath. You just run anywhere and everywhere. It gets you into places where the regular boats can't go.
Arthur and his machine were on hand when Katrina hit, and that's something he never wants to go through again.
I said we worked 3 days rescuing people in New Orleans till the military finally showed up with the airboats. We picked up thousands of people, took off of rooftops and then bringing them to the helicopters so the helicopters could take them out and bust them out. Seeing all the dead people, I want to see it for the rest of my life. Had dead animals, dead people, rotten sewer, and it was disgusting.
time to tally up our haul of fur farm tearaways, and we need a cane knife for the job. We're not rich, but there's a few bucks for a beer.
I know it doesn't look much, but these are going for $5 a piece at the moment.
$5 a piece, yeah.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. $25 for about 15 minutes work.
Case of beer, yeah.
Yeah, we'll split it with you, yeah?
On the way back to shore, we go through some spectacular Scooby-Doo swamp. Movie makers have used this location for years, and I'm even trusted with the rudder. Nutria may not have been top of my list of hunting experiences, but ratting on this scale is pure red mist action.
Now that's going to be one of the most intense vermin control exercises I've ever done. That was pretty sweet. Not only where we went and where we were shooting, but how we got there.
Stefan, part of the show is coming out here and shooting guns, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you look around, this is the place where big kids just have a lot of fun. I mean, you hear it, all kind of calibers. It bangs all over the place, rapid fire, small calibers, and obviously it's a good place to present new products for us.
You're a very senior guy at Zeiss, so are you allowed to be a big kid as well?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, between the serious stuff we do here, we have the talks with the media, with the people. When we sneak out and go to the other areas and try some new stuff, some that other companies present, and it's a lot of fun.
Now you are also, as you say, seriously launching the new Conquest HD binoculars. Tell me about those.
Well, we were in England 2 or 3 months ago, and we had the first prototypes with us for testing them in the low light conditions. And now they're ready, they're here, and we are now testing them in the dust. You see it's a little bit windy today, so after half an hour they already look like used 20 years old. And the response from the media is tremendous. They are testing it obviously in bad conditions. It's too bright, it's just you don't see the advantages of the product that much, but everybody liked them so far.
Well, we had a chance to take the Conquest HD binoculars out stalking with Stefan after Muntjac back in Blighty. The UK not only has big deer, but little ones too. This trophy wall shows some prime examples of the Chinese water deer and muntjac that inhabit this part of England. Bedfordshire farmland supports plenty of both. The Chinese are happy to be on show, while the munties keep a low profile in the woodland undergrowth. And it's muntjac we're after today with the guys from Zeiss Sports Optics. It's the perfect test for the new Zeiss Conquest HD binoculars. Stefan Buehring, who works for Zeiss in international sales, has one of the first examples off the production line, and since filming this at the beginning of November 2011, we have been sworn to secrecy. Scott is our guide this morning, and we are heading for a high seat in a small wood. On the approach, there's a Chinese buck in the field. Although the camera can capture the glorious sunrise, it struggles to pick out the deer. Stefan has a clear view thanks to the new glass, but more of that later. Scott and Stefan go up in the world while we stay at ground level. It's not too long before we get a female stopping for a bite to eat on the ride. She eventually continues on her way. Before the high seat gets uncomfortable, a buck shows himself. He's only 30 or so yards away and Stefan hits him hard. Even with a good shot, the buck still makes it 30 yards into cover before dropping.
It's a young one, huh?
Yeah, he's been fighting, he's broke the tip off of this one.
Huh?
Got both his tusks as well.
It's just the sort of animal we were hoping for, and it's Stefan's first muntjac.
We have to come over here to UK to get something like this. It's amazing. Look at the little tasks. And it's a nice species which we don't have in Europe. So yeah, last year I was here for the Chinese water deer. This year I'm here for the little muntjac, and thanks to my guide, he did a fantastic job.
Scott works with Zeiss Pro stalker Paul Childerley. They take just 4 to 5 bucks from this area as there's a lot of pressure from other estates.
Shoot a lot more Chinese than muntjac, but we have some nice examples of muntjac as well. So we shoot a few nice ones.
So he's a good one to take?
Yeah, perfect one. Yeah, perfect one. He wanted a nice little example of one. So he's got both his antlers, although one's a little bit broken, but both his tusks. He look nice on the wall as a shoulder mount. His ears are good, his cape's good. So yeah, perfect.
Stefan is thinking about taxidermy, but we ask him to talk us through the new Zeiss binoculars and how effective they have been for him this morning, using them for the first time in the field.
The new line really performs on a different level. When we looked over the field area, we saw the Chinese water deer. We went into the forest. It was really dark, and we had some really nice images. This is a new Conquest HD, which is a new entry level into the premium segment. And we have changed a lot of things in this new line. So we were looking for light transmission, color fringing, the edges, are they sharp, field of view, all the normal bits that you test during this first step when you go into the production series.
So the glass, the technology, the look and the feel of these new Zeiss binoculars is something the German manufacturer is able to share with the world. And of course, Stefan has his first muntjac. Now, a rather bigger deer and a larger-than-life band of happy hunters. Back in Louisiana, I take my Chevy to the levee where I'm going deer stalking Cajun style with some good old boys from the swamp. Clint Seneca and his buddies were offered the main parts in the popular Swamp People programme about the alligator hunters of these parts. But they turned it down. Too much of a circus. We head out deep into the Atchafalaya Basin, the largest swamp in the United States, in the early morning gloom. Clint and a dozen friends have the lease on 1,000 acres, and it is home to America's favourite quarry animal, the white-tailed deer, a cousin of Europe's roe deer. The undergrowth is too thick here to walk up on them. The only way is to wait. And deer we see, deer after deer. Clint takes deer management seriously and refuses to shoot them. He is after a barren doe or a rack buck of more than 4.5 years that's past its prime.
It's a 1.5 old spike. First year of horns. Is usable? No, sir. We try to wait till they get 4.5 years old to shoot. Let them mature.
We also see other wildlife. It's like a cartoon cast list with Bambi and his mother. The secret squirrel hoves into view in front of us, and even Woody Woodpecker makes an appearance. There are brilliant bright cardinals and smaller brown things. Let's call them ordinals. There, maths joke for you. Today is the last day of the deer hunting season here. It's ending early this year because of a flood that swept through this area, taking much of the local wildlife with it. While we hear a great deal about hurricanes lashing New Orleans from the sea, southern Louisiana has another flooding problem, the Mississippi River.
Where we sitting right here was about 15 foot underwater.
We're 10 feet up in the air.
Yeah, this stand was underwater.
Did you come out to see it?
I drove a boat right down these shooting lanes that we hunting. It was something to see. In 1973, it did the same thing. This past year was the first time since '73 that they did it. And what it is, it's a flood structure for the Mississippi River. When the Mississippi River comes above flood stage, they can open these structures, and it floods this spillway to keep the Mississippi River inside of the banks, so it doesn't get into residential and commercial areas.
Just dead areas.
Right.
Clint tries calling the bucks with a bigger buck call. The even bigger bucks do not respond. Clint Seneca is from an old Cajun family, and there's nothing he likes better than a get-together for a weekend hunting. Once you're in the swamp, time seems to go more slowly. You probably know Cajun because of its fiery sauces with names like Gator Guts, Butt Burner and Slap Ya Mama. But this is an entire culture that's too hot to handle. Originally called Acadians, they were a band of French speakers whom the British expelled from Nova Scotia in Canada. They headed to what is now the USA, and the only place they could find a home were the swamplands of the Deep South, between the Mississippi and the Atchafalaya rivers. If we British thought we had stamped out their culture, however, we were wrong.
Whitetail aren't that easy to shoot, are they?
No. It's a very difficult animal to kill. A mature one is. As you saw this morning, the smaller ones will sit out there and let you watch them. The mature ones won't, whether it be a buck or a doe.
And we find it, I suppose, in Europe quite extraordinary that the Americans are obsessed with whitetail. It's all you guys seem to talk about and want to do.
Oh, it's a challenge. It's definitely a challenge, and we like challenges.
Here are whitetail that Clint's hunting buddies shot earlier, and here's how to age a whitetail.
You can tell from the weight of the horns, the beatiness at the base down here, and the size of the head, and also the size of the body. But we cut the jawbones out after we kill them, and you can really tell by looking at the teeth. That's the only real way to tell.
So do you count this in terms of how many points it's got or not?
No, the age doesn't have anything to do with the points.
On our way back to the camp, everyone we meet wants to talk about the hunt, the whole hunt, and nothing but the hunt. First, it's Wes, whose wife is real mad because she didn't shoot a deer the previous evening.
You should have seen her after she missed that second deer. I swear, she looked like Medusa.
Then it's Travis, who has just come back from Texas with a white-tailed buck that cost him several $1,000. Now, if you have 1,000 acres of flat woodland cut with paths, how do you get around? A camo golf buggy, of course. Clint and I go back out to the same high seat. There are 2 deer there when we arrive. Of course, they are a doe and a fawn. We see lots more deer like these 2. In all, more than 30 deer come past the stand, all healthy, from fawns through yearlings to button bucks, and the occasional head that will be good for some hunter in a year or two's time. Clint talks about his choice of rifle for whitetail.
I use a 270 short magnum. Normally shoot, 200, 250 yards. And that 270 short magnum is a very powerful rifle. It shoots flat at a long distance.
You got a Browning Airboat. Why did you choose that one?
At the time, it was the best on the market, and it probably still is. It's just the flattest shooting rifle they make, pretty much. And whitetail is a strong animal. It takes a big bullet to kill them.
We end in darkness. 2 deer come out into the ride.
Yeah, about 5 minutes too late.
Could that have been the one?
Could have been.
Disappointed?
Not really. Not all about the kill.
Well, we're back next week with more from the ShotShow, including an unfeasible and almost laughable selection of guns. If you're watching this on YouTube, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button that's somewhere outside the screen there, or go to our website, fieldsportschannel.tv, click to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. This has been Fieldsports Britain, from a pirate ship that plays pop music in the desert in America.